Good morning. This is Rural 2IC coming to you from the Rural Report. And it is Saturday morning. And the weekends are always fun to go through. If you guys are new to the channel, I try my best to do a daily news update. And news is important to the prepping realm for a variety of reasons, but that is for another show. What I want to do on this one, because this is the start of the weekend, and I want to talk about the inevitable failures on preparing. And this channel is for people that are new to prepping. And when it comes to preparing, you always are going to have failures, just like with just about anything. That's why when you go get your driver's license, you've got to be trained, and it gives you the opportunity to learn the skills required for you to be able to earn a license that basically states that, yes, you know the rules, the regulations, how to operate said vehicle in a safe manner, and all that fun stuff. Now, what do I mean by inevitable failures? All right. If you watch any sort of content, you will see most of the people that are on here will tell you, let's go with a bug out bag. When you build your first bug out bag, I absolutely guarantee 99.9999 whatever percent, you're going to way overstuff it. And it happens to just about everybody, and myself included. Okay, I'm not sitting here saying that I am the greatest bug out bag builder when I first started. Okay, I'm still not, and I've been doing this for a long time, and I still go in and you find a new product that you can take two things out with. You make it lighter, and you make things more efficient, and that's the way you do it. You learn, you grow, you adapt, you update. The best thing that I can do, and I had a conversation with a young lady last night. She emailed me, and she was actually asking about a bug out bag. And she's only been to preparedness for just a very short while. And her big thing on her was she read somewhere about somebody went on a trip, didn't have any sort of an EDC, any sort of a car bag, any sort of a bug out bag, any sort of a travel bag, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And something happened. They were traveling from one state and going, 1,000 miles or something like that. It was like 2 a.m. They had one of the car sort of malfunctioning things. They pulled off the side of the road. They were kind of like on one of those two-laned back highways that, during the day, yeah, there's some traffic. At night, not really. And they're hundreds of miles away from people that they know. They're freaking out. They don't know, who to call and what to do, and they didn't have the supplies that they probably should have. And it made her kind of wake up to where she was like, okay, I need to build a bag, especially being a single mother. And she goes, I built a bag, and she goes, it's way too heavy. She goes, this thing it's 50 pounds, and she's uh, I think 120 pounds or something like that. We're talking about like half her body weight in a bag, and then trying to carry a baby with her. It's not going to happen. And the best way that I could do, because I attempted to make sure that I got across to her, I understand what your problem is. I just need to articulate into a way that you can understand. And so, for those of you that have kids, uh, when you take and you have your first child and you build your first diaper bag, I'm sure we've all been there, myself included. You go and you buy this expensive bag, and then you fill this thing with so much formula and diapers and bottles and 50 of the little pacifier things and toys and 10 outfits and 50 blankets, and this thing is 20 pounds worth of baby stuff, and you're taking it with you so that way you can run 5 minutes down to the gas station and buy that loaf of bread that you forgot. We've all been there. And then as time goes on, you start really realizing what you need. And it goes the same way, especially when you have multiple kids. By the time you have that third kid, you don't even really have a bag, do you? You kind of grab an extra two diapers and a little portable thing of wipes, and maybe a toy, and you chuck it under your arm or stuff it in a pocket, and you're off to go because you've been through it. You made the mistakes already, and you've learned what is it that you actually need. And that's where this comes into on the inevitable mistakes. I know that was a little long-winded on trying to get my point across and build context before I really get into this. But you really should pay attention, okay? And whether you're talking about some of the smaller channels like myself, or whether you're listening to some of the bigger channels like Pinball or Bear Independent or any one of them, they say it too. When you do any of this stuff, you're going to make the mistakes. And what we're trying to do is to go, hey, we've already been there. Here's our word of advice. Here's our failures. So you don't have to start out failing like we did. Now, some people do. They have to fail to understand. And when you get into preparedness, it's one of those ones to where you either look at this really big influencer and they hold up something and they go, this is an absolute prepper must have, go buy now. Okay, but why? Why do I have to spend that $500 when I can buy a $50 one? And I hear all the time, the buy once, cry once. Well, in some certain, circumstances, that's correct. You do need to, especially when it comes to a tourniquet. If your life depends on it, you are going to be happy that you bought the name brand, actual proven tourniquet, and your life is probably in a much better chance of being saved than you sitting there buying a $2 one off Wish, and while somebody's trying to apply it, everything snaps and comes apart, and as you slowly bleed out, you can be angry at yourself that you didn't spend the extra $30. So, sorry, that one always gets to me. But it's the same thing with knives. It's the same thing with firearms. It's the same thing with, insert here of next example. You will make mistakes. We all do it. It's what you do with those mistakes. Do you learn from it, or do you just get frustrated and walk away? The best thing you can do is to figure out why. How do I make it better? What failed? Why did it fail? What can I do, to fix this, to rectify the situation? And a lot of it comes down to when you're buying things, you need to have a clear and concise reason to buy it. Not because I want it, not because it's cool, or not because this influencer has it or told me to go buy it. Why is it that you need to take your time? You work a job, you make, say, $10 an hour, and you need to go buy this knife that costs $100. What is it that this knife is going to do and provide for you? What is it going to mean to where you are going to trade 10 hours of your life in order for it to be a necessity for you? And there was that one movie, I forget what it is. I'm really bad with movie titles and things like that. But they had, I think it was above their, no, I think it was on their arm. It was their life was on their arm, little clock or whatever. And I think that's what their currency is. They traded, and it would almost be kind of like a thing for you. You would have this on your arm. So say you have whatever, 50,000. Are you willing to take 10 hours off that clock of your life to have this? You know, put it into whatever context that you need to put it in so that way you have a better understanding. We all make stupid purchases, okay? And there's been a few that I have made that I have completely regretted going, why did I buy this? I bought it, I intended to use it and then realized how much of a dumb decision that made. And that's where me being on YouTube, that I can come and I can show you, hey, you know what? I failed. Here's why it's a complete failure. Here's why this was a dumb purchase. And I want you to learn from it so you don't make the same, decision that I made. A lot of it comes down to skill, okay? Most skills only cost your time. Once you've learned that skill, then it becomes practice. Then it becomes time again. So for me to go buy a $500 knife without any skill or practice, why would I take and do that? Because no matter if I have a $500 knife or a $50 knife, you still need to learn all the basic maintenance. You still need to learn repairs. You still need to learn how to safely use it and what you can do with it. And so you're still trading way up. That $50 knife is 50 off, my little make believe arm thing here. And then I still need to learn all the maintenance and repairs and, getting the experience on what to do with it. So let's say that takes another 50 hours. Okay. So I've got 100 hours invested into this. Well, if I did the $500 knife, now I've got 550 hours invested into this. Well, if they both do the same thing, okay, they handle well, they last, they both sharpen up decent. They're both made of the same steel. Whatever you want to compare it to, who really came out on top? The person that spent 550 hours or the person that spent 100 hours? Because now that person that spent that 100 hours, they have a lot of hours left to learn all the other different survival, things that they need to learn. And it comes down to, you don't need a ton of stuff. Yes, it's nice. And when it comes to survival, okay, like let's say like an EDC or something like that, once you have the skills that are required for survival, once you know how to uh, find water and how to purify it and collect it and things like that, how to build a shelter, how to, self-defense, how to forage, how to hunt, how to fish, all that. Once you've got that down to where you not only know how to do it, but you have the experience of doing it, I need a ferrocerium rod and a pocket knife and, maybe even just a bottle of water, and I can go. Okay. Will it be as good as having a bug out bag? No, I would rather have the bug out bag, but the thing is I don't need it. And that's what I want a lot of you to understand. When you're first starting out, it's scary. You don't have that experience. You don't have all that knowledge. And so you want to buy your way out of it. And there's your mistake. You cannot buy your way out and survive. You have to be able to do. Now, in a certain situation, yeah, a small SHTF situation, a hurricane comes through, knocks the power out for a week, and you went and bought a generator and all this other stuff. Yeah, I'm sure you can survive, for a week without power. Okay. The only thing is, though, is most people could probably ride it out without buying all that stuff that you bought. So when it comes to long term, you're not going to be able to buy your way out of long term survival. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have to be able to get up and go do something. And all the people that get on to the different Facebook groups and different other things, and they want to start prepper flexing. Uh, I don't. It doesn't impress me. Okay, and I'll give you guys a little secret. From me being a small channel, all the way up to the real big channels that are 100,000, 200,000 plus subscribers, it doesn't impress them either. Okay, if you jump on there and you post that, look at me, I've got 50 ARs and 500 knives, and I've got 30 Berkey filters and all this, supplies and gear, and I've got a warehouse full of whatever. Okay, the thing is, that right there is not impressive. That actually doesn't want, I don't want any part of that. The person over here that goes, well, I've got a pocket folder, a big lighter, and I really want to learn, and I want somebody to teach me, and I want help, and they're asking for it. That's sincerity, and that's somebody's drive. They actually want to do it. Yeah, I'm going to take that person right there. I will do everything I can to help them, and I guarantee that probably 9 out of 10 times that person that has just a handful of things, but they have the drive and the motivation and the sincerity that they actually want to be involved and do things. Yeah, they stand a much better chance, and I would pick them in my maggot. Between those two people, I don't want the person over here that's got 500 of this and 3,000 of that, and they're boasting about it, because chances are they don't know how to use it. I will take the guy over here that has a $110 high point 9mm that goes to the range once a week and has 100 rounds, versus the guy over here that's got 500 ARs and 2 million rounds and all this other stuff, and he goes to the range once a year. Yeah, I feel safer with this guy, 100% hands down, without question or hesitation. Yeah, this guy, if I'm going to pick between the two, this guy over here is coming with me. Okay, practice with your stuff. Know your stuff inside and out. Don't buy it and put it on the shelf and let it collect dust. When the time comes, going back to this knife, I want to know, when I hit, how does my hand feel? Does this reverberate? Is this handle going to break? How is this going to do? If I start batoning on this, am I going to start cracking something? Is this thing going to shatter? After I use this a bunch of times, can I sharpen this? How well does this retain an edge on the blade? I want to know all this stuff, so that way, oh crap, I can't go buy another one because SHTF happened. Now I know, okay, I've batoned the crap out of this thing. I can put an edge right back on it. Yeah, yeah, I'm comfortable with this. Now imagine the SHTF situation happens and this thing is still in plastic, which, by the way, somebody handmade this for me. This was never in plastic. Uh, but this is a Walmart knife that is still in that plastic thing, and you're going, okay, my life now depends on this. Uh-oh. Is it going to work? Is it going to break? It does this right here even do anything? Is my hand even going to be comfortable to be able to comfortably even try and use it? A lot of the times when you're first starting out, it's better to get the small stuff and progress. Now, when you go through and you buy things and you buy the entry level stuff, okay, because remember, you are entry level. When you buy that entry level gun, that knife, that whatever, that fits your skill level. So when you go through and you've been doing this for 6 months, a year, 2 years, as you grow and develop, then you need to buy the gear that will be with your experience level. Now, it's not to say that a $50 knife is not a good entry level and high end level. That knife could carry with you the entire time. The big part about this is you're going to make mistakes. It's inevitable. It's going to happen, okay? Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everybody does it. You're human. That's just what we do. You're going to try something and you're going to fail at it. It's what do you do with that failure? Do you give up and walk away, or do you try and figure it out? Okay, I found a way that this doesn't work, or I found an item that doesn't work. Is there a way that I can modify this item to make it work? Or do I need to go find another item? We have been blessed, okay, with whatever you're watching me on, whether it be a computer, a laptop, your smartphone, whatever. You have the information of the entire world at your fingertips. Use it to your advantage. It's one of those things. I get this all the time. And when you grab your EDC or you grab a get home bag or you grab a whatever, I don't need much. Okay. I've put on different EDC bags and different get home bags and things like that. And I'm telling you, I have the confidence that I can start a fire. I can track down some sort of a water source. I can filter my water to where I feel confident and safe to drink it. I can do all that. Okay. The thing is I don't have to right now. I still practice, so I keep that knowledge to where if the time comes, I'm confident to be able to go out there and do it. But right now, it's like 18 degrees outside. As you can see, my lights are on. My heat is good in the house. I'm comfortable. I'm in short sleeve t-shirts. Uh, my kid is on the other side of this wall behind me where he's watching Paw Patrol on a 65-inch, flat screen TV. We're okay. We don't have to sit here and sit in the dark and stare at each other and wonder how we're going to eat or cook or do any of that stuff. You can practice, but you don't have to give up the great part of life, okay? If that huge event never happens, okay, if the balloon never goes up, enjoy life, okay? There's one of your biggest mistakes. Don't live in fear. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen, okay? If the nuke is going to fall, or if the aliens are coming, or the zombie apocalypse is getting ready to happen, there's nothing that you can do or say or wish or whatever that's going to stop it from coming. Okay, that's why you try and prepare for it. But the thing is until that happens, whether that be tomorrow morning, whether that be next year, whether that be 100 years from now, live your life, enjoy life, fellowship. You know how fun it is to do Workshop Wednesday and do these live streams and network and do these interviews and talk with people? It's a blast. I love hanging out with all of you guys. And so it's a passion. It's not work for me. And it shouldn't be work for you. If you don't like it, maybe prepping's not for you. Maybe you need to figure out what it is that you're trying to do and accomplish. Because everybody has a reason for prepping. And if you can't figure out what your reason is, it's going to be very difficult for you to do it. Now, it doesn't need to be your favorite thing. It doesn't need to be your absolute passion like it is for me and countless others. But it shouldn't feel like you dredge to do it every single day. Oh, I got to go and rotate my stock. Oh, I've got to go clean this thing out. Oh, I've got to, learn how to tie a new knot today, and I really don't want to. If that is, what you're doing, then I don't know what to tell you. If you wake up every morning and you set yourself the goal to where you're like, all right, once a week I'm going to learn how to tie a new knot, and you're excited about that, then you've stumbled upon the right channel, and I'm proud of you. And if that is you, send me your updates. Let me know. I love to read all the things. That's the greatest thing for me on being the channel for the new prepper is I want to be that revolving door. I want a bunch of people just starting out. I want to help them. And then, as they grow and become to that next level, it's okay for them to move on to that next level channel because it's a countless people are still, waking up and going, hey, I need to prepare. I need somebody to help me. I need guidance. I got a wave coming. Okay. It's okay. I don't lose sleep of you being successful and moving on to the next level. That's my goal. That's what I want for you. Okay. So, all right, I've taken up way too much of your time, and yeah, my coffee's a little cold. I didn't even drink one sip during this. What is wrong with me? All right. There we go. That's today's video. I hope you guys have an amazing Saturday. Good morning again. Go get a cup of coffee. That's what I'm going to go do. And you know what we do at the end of every single one of these. So if you made it this far, especially this far, you rock. Congratulations. If you guys are new here, welcome. If you're not new here, you know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so that way you can be notified for all future content that's going to be coming out. A lot of exciting things coming for this month and for this year. So, all right, guys, with that, stay tuned. More information to come. If you know what it is next, say it with me now. Above everything else, remember, remain united because we're all prepping in this together.